Hello everyone. Today we shall discuss about the Indian economic reforms of 1991. Now, why the economic reforms were required? In the year 1985, India had balance of payments problem. By the end of the year 1990, it was in a serious economic crisis. The government was close to default. Its central bank had refused new credit and foreign exchange reserves had reduced to such a point that India could barely finance 3 weeks' worth of imports. Most of these reforms came because, with the IMF, that is the International Monetary Fund, required those reforms as a condition for loaning money to India in order to overcome these crises. India's oil import bill was growing, the exports were slumped, credit dried up, and investors took their money out because of this economic crisis. The value of rupee, the Indian rupee, was also depreciating compared to the value of dollars. Now, the impact of pre-liberalization policies. The low annual growth rate of the economy of India before the year 1980, which stagnated around 3.5% from 1950s to 1980s, while the per capita income averaged to 1.3%. Only 4 or 5 licenses would be given for steel, electrical power, and communications. State-owned enterprises made large losses because of the huge public sectors. Then the infrastructure investment was poor because of the public sector monopoly. Corruption under the license Raj was one of the biggest problems. Now, changes done by the year 1991 economic reforms. The dominance of the public sector in the industrial activity. The discretionary controls on industrial investment and capacity expansion. The trade and exchange controls. Limited access to foreign investments. Public ownership and regulation of the financial sector. Reforms in industrial policy, which included the industrial licensing by the central government was almost abolished. The restrictions on the import of foreign technology were withdrawn. There were some reforms in the trade policy as well. There was a switch to flexible exchange rate regime. Import licensing was abolished for capital goods and intermediates. There was some reforms in the financial sector as well. There was liberalization in the interest rate. Then the government has emphasized on stronger regulation to encourage transparency and supervision. Now, what was the impact of the post-liberalization policies? The total foreign investment, including the FDI, which is a foreign direct investment, portfolio investment, and investment raised on international capital markets in India, grew from a minuscule 132 million US dollar in 1991 to 1992 to 5.3 billion dollar in the year 1995 to 96. Annual growth rate in GDP per capita has accelerated to 7.5% currently. The infrastructure sectors such as the telecoms and civil aviation has proven to be extremely effective and growth has been phenomenal. Now, as you can see in this graph, you will get an idea of the India gross domestic product. For more information about the Indian economic reforms of the year 1991, you can refer to the following links. Thank you.